Hello everyone, this is Daryl Guberman. I do this video in honor of Kevin, a Air Force veteran. Appreciate your service. Thank you so much for your service, Kevin. But you asked about NIST-MEP. Many people have been asking about the National Institute of Standards and Technology Manufacturing Extension Partnership, which is 50 strong in 50 states and is run by the Department of Commerce. This video today is Department of Commerce, NIST-MEP, scam and board member on Boeing accreditation body, Underwriter, ANSI-ANAB. As I've showed you in many videos, I was standing up supporting Sam Salipar, the whistleblower for the 777, 787 Boeing. I have all documentation corroborating that. I stood up April 17th when you weren't supposed to. People were going to say, Daryl, you're going to get thrown out, you'll get arrested. So be it. I was supporting him because you know why? I care about you who fly all the time. Here we go. This came right off ANAB, accreditation. Certification of competence in specific subject or areas of expertise, and of the integrity of an agency, firm, group, or person awarded by a duly recognized and respected accreditation organization. So do you feel that ANSI-ANAB gives you the confidence of the integrity and quality in the system? And Boeing, both at Boeing, their suppliers and subcontractors, at Lockheed Martin, at Pfizer, at Johnson & Johnson. ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, is a private, not-for-profit, non-governmental corporation that's been around for over 100 years. It's got federal agencies and corporations on board. In 2015, Randy Doherty, then the Vice President of ANAB, Chairman of the IF, handed over leadership to this Communist Chinese national, Zhao Jinwu. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. And he was there from 2015 to 2021. At the time, he was also the Chief Executive of the China National Accreditation Services in Beijing, China. Here he is in Wuhan, China, giving a certificate in 2017 into the Wuhan laboratory that released the virus, the COVID-19 virus, and we have all data. We just don't make this accusation. You have Ms. Pamela Sale, who's the Vice President of Accreditation for Laboratory, who said under deposition that they've got no protocol. So you basically are putting a certificate into a bio-level 4 lab in Wuhan that was ill-prepared. In 2018, American specialists went over there, and the scientists in Wuhan said, we need more trained technicians. Well, guess what? In a CDC document from May of 2019, it stated that the most important part of any well-run bio-level 4 lab is to have well-trained technicians. They're the first line of containment. You have ANSI, who took over complete control over ANAB in 2018. They sat between 2015, they still do, 2015-21 on the IAF. And ANSI was the founder of the IAF. They are the founding father and also underwriter for the IAF, International Accreditation Forum, which is an association of accreditation bodies, both national and international, and also their sister organization, ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation in Australia. You have 10 different registrars in Communist China that can issue an ANSI-ANAB certificate. This also proves to you that, yes, ANSI is a founding father, along with ANAB, of the IAF. And here it is, IAF. On this government contract, we have many. On this government contract, it calls out ANSI-ANAB is an underwriter for the IAF. And here you go. All right? Now we come up on NIST. NIST is always a good one, the NIST-MEP. Okay, NIST-MEP is 50 strong in all the states. They're given both federal and state tax money. In Connecticut, we had a deal. This is an older one, 2015, I know. But this shows you that they are on the tax. They are given money by the state of Connecticut, our tax money going to NIST. This gentleman here in 2016 wrote my customer, and he said, in looking at your website, I noticed your various ISO certifications, the registrar that you are using. Are you aware that the registrar is not accredited by a certification body? In other words, GPMC is not approved by ANAB to certify companies to the standard, nor do we have to be, ladies and gentlemen. And he said, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have a bad quality management system. It's just that it wasn't checked by an accredited source, kind of like getting your law degree from Columbia, not the country, not the college, but the country. And look at it this way. Look at Boeing. Boeing has ANSI-ANAB. Look at their quality, poor quality. Who has it? Lockheed Martin has it. Look at that. So this guy was bullshitting my customer. Okay, this shows you Bonnie DeConte's salary, the CEO, who I'm going to bring up here too. And guess what? This guy said on his LinkedIn page, we're the largest and most well-connected organization of our type in Connecticut, Constap. Isn't that nice? Here's Bonnie DeConte. Here's a spreadsheet. I know it's 2015, but just stop the video and look at the finances. $2,700,000 go to pay their management and personnel, and $1.5 million goes to donate to 5,000 manufacturers in Connecticut. This is what happens to the 4.2 million, or any money that the Concept or NIST-MEPs get throughout the country. 64.85% go to pay their management and personnel. Here is Richard Blumenthal standing there. This is, I think, 2011 with Bonnie DeConte. Here is this guy, Robert Calpetro, and also you have Chris Murphy, and you have Bonnie DeConte with her head swung back. Here we go with Chris Murphy. You've got Richard Blumenthal here on this side, and here he is. Here is Jim Himes over here standing in a Constep. And we tried to contact George Jepson at the time, the Attorney General, but the only problem is the Attorney General was the president of the National Association of Attorney Generals that sits on the board to help the Homeland Security. During this time, we tried to warn Richard Blumenthal and his team on the antitrust committee. Here's Richard Blumenthal. Here's Amy Klobuchar. There's, by the way, Booker. You had 5 people all over there. You got this guy. There's Lindsey Graham, the bullshitter. Really bad bullshitter. You got Mike Lee. Who the hell is that? And you got this guy. It's disgusting. Lockheed Martin. Here it is. Lockheed Martin sits on ANSI-ANAB's board. We wrote a letter to Lisa Gross, who was the ethics officer, and she wrote us back. And this was 2015 when the IF was handed over to a communist Chinese national, Zhao Junwu, as I showed you that placard. She said, in order to meet our customers' requirements, Lockheed Martin deals with entities that are certified with the International Accreditation Form. Your company is not a registrar of the IF, nor do we have to be, and therefore your accreditation is not recognized by Lockheed Martin. Well, let me just say this. In 2009, Lockheed Martin gets hacked by China, taking their F-35. In 2012, a division of United Technologies Sikorsky aircraft gets hacked by China. In 2015, Lockheed Martin goes to purchase Sikorsky aircraft, and this came out of the Connecticut Mirror. With China's okay, Lockheed Martin to close on the Sikorsky purchase. But Connecticut, and this was right off the site, but Connecticut lawmakers praise Lockheed Martin for clearing its last regulatory hurdle. So let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, in the yellow, this is what it deciphered down to. Connecticut lawmakers Rosa DeLauro, Richard Blumenthal, Chris Murphy, and Jim Himes praise our #1 military contractor for Lockheed Martin working with communist China. And people want to know all the time, Daryl, how do you know they hacked them? How do you know? Well, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. The proof is in the pictures. You have the China version of the F-35 here. And you got the F-35 on this side. You got the Chinese version of the Black Hawk on this side, and the real Black Hawk on this side. This ought to be truth or consequences. And then we ended up with this letter from a woman who worked at a NIST MEP. And she said, first, I will say that I was a former NIST MEP employee. How I was fired was that I was a top performer in the organization measured by sales, billable hours, and impact. I do not dispute my firing. I was a square peg in a round hole. I support your defunding of NIST MEP system. Besides the unethical behavior you have described, there is so much more waste and unethical behavior. It was impossible to live with. One, many of the manufacturing specialists, consultants, are less than 25% billable. No one or firm can operate without funding at the billable rate. I now have my own consulting firm, and I average 90% billable. I doubt if you could afford to have any of them working for you at 25%. And 2, relationships and co-funding of other nonprofit agencies was jokingly called money laundering. NIST-MEP would become a sponsor for another non-for-profit, give them money, and then they would give us money. I totally agree with your statement, okay, about a tax-funded welfare system. 203-556-1493. I look forward to hearing from you, all of you. Take care, Ned. That's for you.